Hey y'all, so it's Respect the Queen, and like I said, when I'm inspired to speak, um, when the Spirit commands me to speak, and I'm getting better at that. I still struggle from time to time speaking out of emotion, but the best thing I could ever do is speak when the Spirit commands me to, and that's when I know that my heart is speaking and it's not blinded by emotion. Um, so anyhow, um, typically when I am compelled to speak by Spirit, it is because I've seen something or read something that touched my soul. And so I bought this book, The Four Agreements by Don Ruiz, and I haven't started reading yet, but I did skim the book. And he talks about breaking old agreements, the Toltec path to freedom. Everyone talks about freedom all around the world. Different people, different races, different countries are fighting for freedom. But what is freedom? In America, we speak of living in a free country, but are we really free? Are we free to be who we really are? The answer is no, we are not free. True freedom has to do with the human spirit. It is the freedom to be who we really are. And of course, he goes on and speaks even further about freedom. And what he says is the only person that can stop us from being free is ourselves. That a lot of people blame the government, religion, their parents, all sorts of stuff, not to be accountable for themselves. And I definitely used to be that person. And some days I slip up and I point the finger and I have to self-check, 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 and catch myself because nobody, nobody on this planet can stop you from being who you are, who you were destined to be, what life you were designed to live, what your purpose is, but you. If you are not living in your purpose, it is because of you. If you are not free in your mind, it is because of you. If you have a tortured soul, it is because of you. The universe responds to us in our own lives. The universe is not responding to my mother about Tara's life. The universe is responding to the messages and the vibrations that I put out there. You know, um, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely understand without a shadow of a doubt that we have been programmed and conditioned to live a certain life pretty much out of the womb. Because a lot of times with parents, we mold our children into what we believe they should be based on standards that were given to us by our parents. Sometimes right, sometimes wrong, but the issue that we have as parents is that, for example, our daughter can come to us and say, I want to be a dancer. And we'll say something like, well, doctor, you probably should, become a doctor. A doctor makes X amount of money. But what if it was that child's purpose in life to be a dancer? And you gave her a message that said, being a dancer is really not good enough, honey. You should try this. And then by the time they get to school, the school system is designed to create workers. The school system isn't designed to help our children live their dreams. They're creating workers, 9 to 5, corporate America. That's exactly what they're doing. There is no which way around that. Especially when you see a system that has changed so much where they don't even have the majority of the electives that they used to have when I was a child. Um, so you breed these children, they become workers, they do everything that we told them to do, and then they're walking around here and they're unfulfilled, they're unsatisfied, they're not accomplishing their dreams. They're really just clocking in 9 to 5, going home, taking care of their families. If they don't have a family, taking care of themselves. They might have a little fun here and there, they might go on vacations here and there, but are they truly living their dreams and what they wanted for themselves? Because we conditioned them to not be who they really are. And then those children become adults, and then they end up breeding another set of workers. We're not breeding entrepreneurs out here. We're not breeding children to become artists and creative spirits, free spirits, you know, um, because we simply are not being who we are. Um, and we constantly pass that cycle on to our children, and then they pass it on to their children, and then it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then one day we wake up and go, wait a minute, what happened to my life? I really wanted to go here. I really wanted to do this. But because you've been conditioned to have this slave mentality, you don't do what you were destined to do. You don't become who you were destined to be. Excuse me, this YouTube thing is real new for me. So bear with me as I get better at it. Anyhow, are we really free? No. Because if I'm free and you're free, what you're doing in your life is not going to disturb my spirit. And what I'm doing in my life is not going to disturb yours, to the point where we're fighting, we're murdering people, we're doing all of these chaotic things in an attempt to get people to be who we think they should be. Everybody's got to be who they are. And if I'm truly free within myself, what you doing in your life is not going to bother me like that. Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for me, and my true purpose. It is truly beyond me sometimes to grasp why people think you have to be what they think you should be. There's no freedom in that. My entire life I lived being for what other people wanted me to be, and let me tell you, I was unhappy. I did everything that I was supposed to do as far as, going to school and getting the degrees and, landing a pretty good job with a law firm. Yet I was still unhappy because I wasn't free to be who I really wanted to be. I wasn't living in my purpose. I wasn't accomplishing things that I wanted to accomplish. Oh yeah, I got a raise. I bought a new car, got a few things around the house, but those materialistic things didn't mean anything to me when, I dreaded going to work 9 to 5 every day, and I usually worked the weekends too, getting that good overtime. Why am I still unhappy? Because I'm not free to be who I really am. What I think we've missed is that freedom cannot be bought. Freedom cannot be sold. They can't pass a law and we're free. You can't kill somebody and gain freedom. Freedom is a mental state of mind. I am free from the thought and behavior of other people, and sometimes including myself, because I was conditioned to believe a certain way, and those old messages don't go away overnight. It takes time in really retraining your thoughts away from the old into the new. And let me tell you, sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's easier to gravitate back to the old than this new way of life, because I'm still learning. And the majority of us, if we're honest, hell, all of us, we're still learning. Everybody doesn't know everything. And what you determine to be right today, the universe may bring you something tomorrow that makes you re-examine that thought process. We want everything to be so concrete and put in a box, and it has to be this way or it's wrong. What if what's right for me is just simply not right for you? It's not about being right or wrong. It's my truth, my journey, my life. It's what Spirit has designed for me, not you. And that goes for you, vice versa. I can't say that you're living your life wrong according to what? Some rules that somebody wrote down and said were right for that period of time, and we're still falling back on these rules saying this is wrong according to X, Y, and Z, and you're condemned, and your life is just going to be a total disaster. Who made this shit up? Like, we gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop trying to control people from being who they simply are. It is okay to be who you are. Even if that doesn't align with my spirit. As long as you're being simply who you are, who am I? Who am I? Who are you, people? You know, who gave us this sense of entitlement, that we're entitled to tell people what they should and should not be doing? Because the universe didn't decide that every single last one of us has the same journey. Oh my God, how boring of a world that would be if we all had the same journey. It just doesn't work that way. What's destined for my life may not be destined for yours. And I know that I keep reiterating that point, but I need people to understand that this is your journey. You have to look in the mirror, do some self-discovery, do some meditation, do some prayer, do whatever it is that works for you, so your voice can quiet down and you can hear what it is that you're supposed to do from source. And whatever you call source, may it be God, Jesus, Allah, Messiah, that whatever works for you. Because I am not here to judge what works for you. I know what works for me, and I tap into a power of my understanding. And that's all I need is my understanding. You know, and my understanding has evolved over 35 years. My understanding 3 years ago isn't even the understanding that I have today, because we are allowed to be who we are. We are allowed to evolve as human beings. And we're all given the same 24 hours to discover our own truth, our own journey, our own purpose, and becoming free beings in that purpose, you know, in your journey, in what's destined for your life. But you got to figure it out for you, you know, and there's nothing wrong with getting with people and having people help you to discover, you know, how to love yourself, and, you know, how to take care of yourself, and help you to reprogram those messages. But at the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you. And you got to figure it out for you. You know, I have a group of friends, and we're all on a different level of quote-unquote consciousness. And, you know, some of the things that work for them just don't work for me. You know, I am a rebel by nature. You know, I don't meditate and go to the ancestors or anything like that like they do. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, that is absolutely okay. It has to work for me. But anyhow, because I can ramble forever in a day about this topic, you just simply got to let people be who they are, and you simply have to be who you are without apologizing for it. You know, if your thing is to get up and, you know, pray before you go out for the day, and somebody else says, I don't believe in prayer, you got to stand in the fact that you do, and not be swayed in a different direction. Because you're simply being who you are. If your thing is to go to church on Sundays and mine isn't, that's okay. If your thing is to have a bunch of kids and be married, you know, that's fine. But there are other people in this world who don't desire to have children and don't desire to be married, and that's okay. It's okay. You know, gotta really calm down, people. It is okay to simply be who you are. This rule book that we created for other people, and then 9 times out of 10, we don't even apply it to our own lives. Like, burn it. Throw it away. It ain't working. You're not making the changes that you think you're making in other people's lives because you got this mental rule book that everybody must follow by. You know. It sounds crazy, huh? Yeah. Trust me. I'm on the outside looking in. Your rule book sucks. You need to burn it. And you need to just simply be who you are. And you don't have to convince the rest of the world that they have to be who you are. Because if you're comfortable with who you are, You ain't worried about convincing everybody else of it. When you're unsure of who you are and you're standing on shaky ground and your foundation ain't too firm, that's when you're hell-bent on convincing everybody else that it's right. I'm going to let y'all go from there, and I'll be back soon. If nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you. God loves you. And 9 times out of 10, the people that you're around love you. And if they don't, get you some new friends. Peace.